Hi everyone, welcome back to Boo Piano Soaps. Ellen here, and I've been a little quiet lately, haven't made some videos, probably in about a month. We did have kind of a situation here at home. My mother-in-law became ill and passed away, and so I've been out of town a lot and having to deal with different things, and you know, we need some time to grieve, and just having to take care of so much that you know, you can't even imagine, that I just have not been able to find the time to soap. So fall soaps that were, you know, going to still be made and sold didn't happen. And that's okay. You know, that's all right. We jump right into the Christmas season. I have not changed my tablecloth yet. I haven't had a chance. This should be a nice, cute Christmas tablecloth, but I just haven't had the chance to do it. And obviously because I'm behind, because I have not been soaping for Christmas soaps, the soap that I'm going to make today is I'm going to make some melt and pour soap, because obviously the curing time, you know, there is no curing time. You can use it and sell it right away. I am going to make some cold process soap, and I'm going to make that in a different video, and it is going to be a Christmas one. And for that one there, I am going to give that one out as gifts. And so I know, you know, today's December 2nd, people will open it, you know, at Christmas time, and so it gives it a good 3 weeks to cure. What I usually do right around this time is I go through all of my containers of embeds, and I have a lot of them, and I keep them in plastic containers like this, or like this, or like this. You know, these are containers that I get at the dollar store. They're $1. They're really cheap, and I have all my embeds organized in nice, neat containers like this. And they usually follow a theme. If I've done a theme soap, these embeds have, you know, butterflies and some flower pieces, and so I'm sure I must have been making a summer soap with those. And in here I know I have some that I made at Easter, because I can tell they're little ducks and little rabbits, and just the colors I can tell that, you know, those were Easter. And I have some seashell ones in here. I have, and again, they're just leftover melt and pour pieces from different, you know, soaps that I've made through the year. And because I don't like to really keep them in the containers too long, this is a nice time right now to go ahead and repurpose these embeds. And that's the beauty of melt and pour soap. If you make melt and pour embeds and you don't use them, you can always remelt them. You can remelt them, you can rescent them, and you know, for my purposes, like I said, I'm behind and soaping for Christmas because of the circumstances. This works out great because in Santas and Christmas trees, I have larger ones. I have like some ornaments here. I have some peppermint candy molds. I have some snowmen. I can quickly use past melt and pour embeds by remelting them up. I don't have to recolor them. All I have to do really is just add some scent, and I can quickly fill up these cavities in these molds, and I can make just some cute little gift boxes of just some sort of guest size mini melt and pour soaps. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, what you want to do obviously is you want to try to mix similar colors. You want to remelt similar colors. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through, I'm going to spend some time, I'm going to organize different piles of different melt and pour colors, and I'm going to begin to melt those colors, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill up my molds, and then I'm going to, you know, I use rubbing alcohol, I spray all my molds, and then I'm going to bring you back when I'm going to unmold them, and then I'm going to show you cute ways to make little gift boxes or gift baskets with those. It has cooled down a little bit, so I'm continuously stirring it because I don't want it to get hard on me. You cannot pour it super, super hot because it will melt the red melt and pour that's already in here. So you do have to let it cool down a little bit, no more than about 3 to 5 minutes, I would say. If you wait longer than that, it's cooled, but then it gets clumpy and it doesn't pour well, and you know, it is starting to solidify. So don't want to wait longer than that, but certainly want to wait long enough that it's not scorching hot and, you know, it's not going to melt your the red that you already placed in there. It's also a good idea to go ahead and put a little rubbing alcohol on top. All right, and then I added a little bit of more of that peppermint fragrance oil in here, and here we go. You're just going to fill up the cavity. Perfect. See, it's a little lumpy. Had the lumpiness. Let's see if it fixes it. Yeah, I don't see this melting the red at all. I think it's already cooling down. Wow. So I guess if you want melt and pour to solidify quick, you know, have a fan on and have it be about 70 degrees. Actually, it's probably about 80. Can you believe it's December 2nd and it's 80? Just doesn't feel like Christmas, so that's the problem. I miss snow and cold. And a nice fireplace on. I know some people that hate the cold think I'm crazy. Ooh, this smells so good. That peppermint from Brambleberry is wonderful. The crock pot. I usually almost always have a nice crock pot of white melt and pour soap going. Even when I'm doing cold process soap, because it's just so easy, and whether it's embeds that I can be making at the same time, or, you know, little guest soaps, I like melt and pour. I get that it's not the same, you know, some people feel like, wow, that's not really handmade soap, and I guess it's not, but if you take it and you create with it and you do other things with it, what's wrong with that, I say. Alright, let's go ahead and take our little gingerbread men out of the mold. They got hard super quickly. Oh my god, they're adorable. Look at them. Look at how cute they are. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. Focus. Is that focused? Yeah. So those are the cute little gingerbread men. And I have another batch of these that I want to make. And I can't say it enough. Again, I'm just using re-melted melt and pour soap. Not spending any additional money, not using additional supplies. It's just re-melted soap that I'm taking advantage of colors I already have of melted soap and adding in some fragrances. So that. Now I want to show you the peppermint candy and see how those came out. And then I'm just going to make several more and more batches. I'm also going to make some of these Christmas ornaments, which are going to be bigger, and these are going to be melt and pour soap as well, and I'm going to show you that. But let's take a look at our peppermint, how that came out. I'm going to really try to not have that red stick. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to come out all as one, and it did, and they're so cute. See that? Come on, camera, focus. See it? So it looks like a peppermint candy. Beautiful. And so here we have our kind of big Christmas ornament mold. And I wanted to kind of come up with a red and green. Had a little bit of a hard time coming up with the red with the re-melting of some melt and pour soap that I already had. It's a kind of a little bit of a fuchsia color, but we're going with it. It's going to work fine. And we're just simply going to pour it in. I've not used this particular mold before. I got this on the after Christmas sale at Michael's in like their baking supply section. So I want to do this color. There's like 3 ornament types in here, and so that's what I want to do. One in this color, and then I'm going to do a green. So let me go ahead and melt up the green. So I went ahead and I melted some purple melt and pour soap that, again, I had some purple embeds, and I went ahead, melted the purple, and I'm also going to make ornaments. Fill up this mold with that purple. And I think... So while we are waiting for our Christmas soap ornaments to harden up, I wanted to show you some Christmas soaps that I have made in the past that are melt and pour soaps. You know, again, this year, a little behind with everything going on, but I do have a few samples. I always usually will keep a sample and then one that I have wrapped of holiday soaps, just to remind myself the next year what I have done. And so I wanted to share those with you. And the first one, you're going to recognize the little gingerbread man. I'm hoping you can see that. This was a really popular seller last year. Here it is, unwrapped. Now again, this is a year old, this bar. It's a, you know, it was a sample that I had out at different shows that I did, so it's been handled a bit, but basically it looked like this when it was brand new. And this is melt and pour soap, and it's the little gingerbread man here on top that we made today with the melt and pour. That was the same mold I had used last year to make Mr. Gingerbread Man. And this smells like gingerbread, and actually it still smells like gingerbread a year later, or ginger snap. It was made with kind of a yellowy gold melt and pour bottom layer, and I made it in just a tall skinny loaf. Actually, I don't even think it was the tall one, it was just a skinny loaf, but it was a little bit of a yellow gold on the bottom, and then it was a little bit more gingerbready-ish color the second layer. So I waited for the first layer to harden up nice and hard. I sprayed rubbing alcohol, and then I put the darker gingerbread layer on top of that. And then at the very top, this was actually, I don't know if you could see it, this is actually a clear. I used clear melt and pour soap for the top, and used a little bit of brown colorant in that. And then just at the very top, I just sprinkled a few little curls in there, and I plopped Mr. Gingerbread Man in. And this, as I said, this was a really popular seller. I think I sold out, and this is the way that I wrapped it. It is wrapped with just a cute little tiny little plastic gingerbread man ornament that I'm sure I got at after Christmas sales, and I just put a simple brown ribbon on it, and it's in my plastic clear cellophane, and it it flew off the shelves. So that's Mr. Gingerbread Man. The second one I did was I did an oatmeal and honey soap, and a little bit of cinnamon in this one. And this was a clear base, and then it was a white melt and pour layer on top of the clear once the clear had hardened, and then clear layer on top again. And again, just some little curly cues in there. I don't know if you can see them. And I just went ahead and stuck a cinnamon stick in it. And this one too still smells awesome. This is oatmeal and honey. I think I had put a little oatmeal in the on top of the bottom layer too. And this is the way this was wrapped. It was wrapped ready for gift giving. Clear cellophane tape, just a little gold, bow on the top, and again, very, very popular seller. As I said, people like it when things are ready to be given as gifts. Another one I made, although the sample is really beat up for it, is I made I think this was a Christmas sleigh fragrance oil. White melt and pour layer. I put a column mold, a round column mold, red clear on the bottom layer so that it will come through when you cut it on the soap. It's a little bit of a darker clear layer in the middle, and then some confetti soap with clear melt and pour on the top. And on the top was Mr. Santa Claus and a little red boot or stocking. And this was wrapped like this, and very popular. It has just a little red ornament. Again, I'm sure I got them after the Christmas sale. This time the ribbon was put on the top instead of going horizontal, and again, flew off the shelves. I think I alternated. I had red column mold and I had green column mold. My hands are so miscolored because that's the one thing when you color melt and pour soap and you're using different colorants, your hands get a little bit full of color. The final one I think I did melt and pour, this was a peppermint one. It still smells pepperminty. Again, this is a sample and it's been used. What I did with this one is I placed a lot of different color, green, pink, white, curlicues inside the whole mold, and then I poured in a pink melt and pour layer, let it harden up, then poured in a white, and then just a tiny clear on top just so you could see the little curlicues on top. And this one was wrapped like this. Again, label on the back, wrapped in clear cellophane, ready for gift giving. The other soap that I did was very popular. This is not melt and pour though, is I had done poinsettia cupcakes with cold processed soap. And again, this is a sample that's been, was used quite a bit, but I did have it left over just to remind myself. It was really pretty. It had little white sugar dots on top. The red was more vibrant red at the time, and the green was more vibrant at the time, but these were really cute poinsettia cupcakes, and I sold out of those as well. And those were wrapped, I had put them in a cupcake container like this. It had simple Christmas ribbon on it and a little silver bow, and just some metallic little shreds inside it, gold, green, silver, and then the cupcake was inside. And that was very, very popular too. So I would have made these again this year, had I had the time. Hi everyone. Okay, so what I wanted to show you today is I've taken out all those ornaments that I made with you yesterday. They all came out really cute. You can kind of see them all here. And I told you that I was going to do a little painting on top of them. And when I mean painting, what that means is you take a little bit of mica, and this is Snowflake Sparkle Mica from Nurture Soap. It's one of my favorites. All you do is you put it in a little container, and I mean you just need a little smidgen of it. I go ahead and I just spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I take just an ordinary painting brush, and I just go ahead and I mix that really good. And actually, for some reason, this has now come out like pink sparkle mica. And the only thing that I can think of is that the brush wasn't cleaned, and maybe there was some pink paint, or I must have done some pink mica with this brush before. But that's fine. And you're just going to just paint over the crevices, the little indentations in the mold. And this does stay. I mean, you let it dry, and it really stays, and it just gives the soap a little extra pizzazz, a little extra sparkle. And I'm just going to put it kind of in every other line on this one. And like I said, it just kind of gives it just a little extra sparkle. I think in here I'm just going to do the snowflakes. There you go. And again, it's just a little extra on the soap, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. There we go. And you can certainly go as elaborate as you want. I mean, I have seen people, you know, use different color micas to paint on their soaps, and they get really detailed in them. I don't need to for the purposes of these, but you know, for other projects I do sometimes paint on top of soaps with mica colors. And what I'm going to do then is a tap, is I'm going to let this dry, and when they dry I'm going to bring you back so I can show you how I am going to gift wrap these. Okay, so as promised, I said that I would come back and I would show you how I was going to go ahead and I was going to wrap these cute Christmas soaps that we made. They're just melt and pour soaps, nothing fancy, and I want to show you what I went ahead and did. For our little peppermint guest soaps, I'm using 2 of these. I have these clear boxes that I buy off of Amazon, and they are dirt cheap. I mean, if you search for clear mini favor boxes, they pop up. I can probably even leave a link if I remember of where I get mine, but they're really tiny. They're probably 2 inches by 2 inches all the way around. Let's see, your thumb is maybe 2.5 inches. Tiny boxes, and they're perfect for 2 of our little guest soaps. So like these guest soaps here, I went ahead and I just used some crinkly paper from the dollar store that you get for $1. I put a little bit on the bottom of the box. And I also have my label on the bottom of the box. The Blue Piano Soaps label is there. Little crinkle paper, and then I put 2 of the soaps inside the box, and then I just went ahead and I tied it with just a simple red ribbon. And then I'm going to add to this, because it's me and I always have to add things. I am going to add some type of little, embellishment of some sort. Let's see if I like this. I have so many different things that I could add. I'm going to add that little Christmas tree on top. And I get these, I always get them after the holiday sale. And, you know, regular price, they were $1.50 for 6 of these. I'm sure I probably got this 75% off. I mean, I probably got this for a quarter. And it's just a nice little extra thing to add to your box to just kind of embellish your box a little bit, and you can easily sell that for $3 or $3.50. And people will buy them. They're great stocking stuffers. They're great little hostess gifts if you're going to a party, or if you are hosting a party and you want some favors. And I did the same thing with our little gingerbread men. Here were the little gingerbread men that we made. I did the same thing. I did a clear box. I put some crinkle paper on the bottom. I will add my label to it, and then I just take a piece of ribbon. This one I'm going to do in green. Let me get my label real quick. Add the blue piano soaps label to the bottom, and I'm just going to take a piece of ribbon, and I'm just going to tie just a knot. Really simple, easy to do. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that a little bit. I am going to show you my bin of embellishments. These are all embellishments that, like I said, I bought after the Christmas sale. Okay, so there's our box with our 2 little gingerbread men in them. They're really cute inside there. You can see them. And I have all of these. I have a basket full of after the holiday embellishments to put on my packages. I have little bells. I have like scrapbooking stickers. These are cute. They're like little Santa clothespin hangers that you can, you know, put on ribbon. I mean, I have so much stuff in here. It's ridiculous. This is just all after Christmas sale stuff. These are really cute. Maybe I'll put one of those on there. Look, adorable stuff that I got after the holidays. Little ornaments. I'm just showing you this just to show you the endless possibilities. I just keep a basket full of stuff that I pick up, you know, after the holiday sales. And so I have all this ready to go and ready to be used, you know, for now, for the holidays. So we put the tree, let me move this now. We put the tree on the other one. I don't want to put the tree on there again. I think we'll put a little bow. We'll put a little bow on this one. But these are great ways to kind of embellish your packaging. Costs very little, you know, if you get it on sale. And you just add it to your packaging, and it just gives the packaging just that little extra gift-giving pizzazz. And, you know, people respond to it. So there's a little bow on our little gingerbread men. Can you see them in there? They're in the box. And here's a little bow now that I've put on the box with the green ribbon. And, yeah, ready for gift giving. Okay, so that's one possibility. Let me show you now. This is one of them. Okay, it's sparkly because that clear mica sparkle that we added to it has dried. And I just went ahead and I put it just in a clear cellophane bag. That's all this is. I cut it so that the tip is going towards the top. I added a little silver ribbon to it. On the back is the label. And what I'm going to do, just to give it now some added pizzazz, is I'm going to take one of those embellishments I was just talking about. It's a little silver snowflake on a little clothespin, and I am just going to put that right on here. And look how cute that looks. See? And again, that can easily be sold for $3 or $3.50, and it's ready for gift giving. These fly off the shelves. Okay, so you can do the same thing with the others that you wrap. You wrap them in clear cellophane. You just put a different ribbon on them, and then you just embellish them with a different embellishment, and you're good to go. So I hope this has given you some Christmas ideas. It was fun for me to at least put this video together, since I really didn't get to do all my holiday line this year, but I certainly will do it next year. So thanks for sharing a little bit of the holiday creating activity with me, and I'll see you very soon. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you very soon.